Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Royce from Pedal Mel. Welcome to my channel. All right, so I started working on the fuse panel, and I think even just doing some sanding on top of the wires or with the lines that are supposed to represent wires actually looks pretty good. But I want to take it one step further, and I think I'm gonna get rid of the rest of the molded in wires and just try to put in some actual real wires. So we'll see how that goes. I have this, I don't know where it even came from, this purple wire here that's really fine. It's would be perfect. So I don't know if I can paint the wire. It has like an anodized coating on it. So it's like a purple metallic there. You can kind of see it off to the right there by my sanding stick. And then of course I have my phone wire that I pulled out of my basement that's no longer being used for my landline, but it's like a 1.1 millimeter. It's just way too big for this panel. So I'm still searching out some old electronics that I can tear apart and see if there's some smaller diameter wiring that I could use for this panel. But I think just spending some time and working on this will get it fixed up. That'll look really cool in the end. All right, so I had just painted some yellow, some white, and a red section on this purple anodized wire. Um, I like trying to make do with things I have around the house. I believe this wire was like wrapped around a wreath or something like that. I'm not sure where it came from, but I think it'll work great though. And I did go ahead and drilled tiny little holes in the fuse panel a while, just trying to get that fixed up and ready to go. So I think that'll work great. All right, so I think I'm wrapping this up. Probably have about 2 hours in this, and I'm getting kind of tired of working on it. Added two little miniature wristwatch screws at the bottom. What else did I do? Did the wire didn't work quite as nice as I thought it would. Pre-painting it, it kind of ended up chipping off the purple wire, so I ended up just using the regular wire and then painting the wire when it's done. It looks okay. I'm not totally pleased with it, but maybe I'll keep working on it as we go. Anyway, I'm on page, what was it, 153, and next up is putting the control board into the one left fuel tank, I guess it says there. So that's where I'm at right now, and I will let you know how that goes, putting it together, and hopefully I can attach the fuse panel here soon to the tube frame. All right, just mounted up the fuse panel. I just used a little bit of super glue on the back since I no longer had the huge screw holes to attach, but I think it looks a lot better with the tiny little wristwatch screws at the bottom. And I just finished up the fuel tank that has the control board hidden inside. I just did the snap together. I didn't glue anything just in case I ever need to take this back apart. The fuel neck is very simplistic, so hopefully there's something that can hide that, or I'm not sure what's going there with that yet. We'll find out. Looks very, very childish though, so hopefully that will be either I'll have to modify that or something. We'll see here once I get it mounted up, but I'm pretty happy now with the fuse panel now that I got it situated. I think it looks, as it wants to focus on the steering wheel, but I think it definitely looks a lot better than it did. I'm sure if you just painted what was molded on would have been fine. I just thought I would spend a little extra time to see what could be done with it. And I did check, it's 0.47 millimeter was the wire that I just used for the little tiny relay wiring and the fuse wiring. All right, so let me attach this and I'll be right back. All right, I got the left fuel tank mounted with the wiring pulled up through between the frame tubes. It's just one screw holds this on from underneath, and we shall see how this goes. I'm not sure I like how the wiring is, but I'm sure there's somehow this is going to get tucked over here, I would hope. Seems kind of chunky there, but hopefully everything can be hidden. So now we will move on to the right fuel tank. All right, so next up we will move on to packet number 33 on page 156, and this is the right fuel tank, and it has the switch for it, so this doesn't look too bad either. So we'll do that and I'll be back. Okay, I put the right side fuel tank in. This has a battery compartment, so they kind of instruct you how to route the wiring. It seems like it's pretty well thought out. I kind of had a slight panic attack, not really a panic attack, but kind of upset because I was missing this fuel neck, I don't know what you want to call it, off the right tank, and I thought for sure it wasn't in the bag. I double and triple checked the bag was empty, and here it was somehow stuck to me. So I don't know how it got inside my sweatshirt, but there it was, and I found it. And so I was really glad because I thought for sure I was going to have to write to the company or something and see if I can get that part or just make one myself. But anyway, they also have you route and connect the red to black, the red and black to red and black, and then the front brake switch is just going to the black in the bundle of snakes there of wires. And that's where I'm at with that. Pretty easy. Just one screw holding the right tank on as far as I could tell for right now. So we shall see. The next step is, let's see here, page 159. So it's the little tiny speaker and some more bars. So that's what they call packet number 34. So I will put that together and come right back. All right, this bar that goes up above the right-hand side fuel tank is mounted. It's a little tricky. You got to kind of get it behind the shock absorber there and then up to in front of the wishbone, the upper wishbone there, I should say. And it's a little tricky getting this Jungle Gym parts together, but it's in there. It's amazing how heavy this thing is so far. It's pretty crazy how heavy it is already. It's pretty amazing. So anyway, the next step I'm moving on to is parts packet 35, which is, these are metal, which is crazy, but they're it says mud guards. And then you have hose, which is kind of cheesy, gloss black rubber hose for, or not, it's vinyl, I should say. Vinyl hose for the brake lines. And there's a bunch of LED lights that'll need to be connected. And strip some adhesive tape here for, not sure yet what's going on with that, but we will find out. So they kind of give you like a preview first, just kind of like I don't know if does Lego do that. I think they do. It kind of reminds me of Lego directions, where it kind of give you a general what to look forward to type of illustrations before you move on to the steps. I guess you want to say, like, they kind of briefly just kind of show you what's going where. I did get the aluminum wire that I ordered off of Amazon in the mail today. I forget what size this is. It's really nice, soft, pliable, and I think I might be using those for the front brake lines. I'm not sure yet. I do have I did order off of eBay 3 more different sizes of braided hose, so I'm thinking maybe use that. You might have seen in my reference photos, everything I've been checking, the brake lines do appear to be stainless braided lines, which I wasn't quite sure on that. You know, if I have a good picture, I'll put one up on the screen if I find one. So we can see here in this shot, you can clearly see that the main brake line going to the back left side there is flexible stainless steel braided. So I wasn't quite sure, because some of the photos, it almost looked like they were black rubber Maybe on the early cars they were, and then they swapped out to have to the stainless braided. You have less expansion then of the hose. All right, the next step was to route the front rubber brake lines to each caliper, and they just have you running the cheesy looking black rubber hoses up to the cylinders at the front. Here's what I have so far. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to hard line it the way the actual car was, and then connect to the flexible braided lines on each side. So that's where I'm at with that. Drilled two holes and the put the braided lines in there. Anyway, this one here is kind of kinked a little bit. I'll get them fixed up another time. I'm gonna have to try to get a hold of 0.75 flexible aluminum wire, or maybe 0.9. I'm thinking somewhere around there will be perfect for the brake lines. The 1.5 millimeter aluminum wire that I had ordered is just way too big. So maybe I'll check at the Hobby Lobby tomorrow and pick that up. Next up is wiring up. There's a whole bunch of stuff it needs. The wires run here along the frame, and we'll see how that goes. Next, I'm at page 164. So we'll see here. All right, so I'm back at it here, routing the wiring. We got the wires going back to the two tail lights, which are right there. And we got a main switch, which is right there in the middle of the screen. They give you some strips of, I don't know what kind of tape it is. It doesn't seem to be that great, but it's supposed to hold the wires to the frame. The wiring comes up around. Have everything hooked up. They give you a bunch of micro switches. Temporarily, I put the speaker into a cup here, and we have the headlight LEDs, and I will show you what everything does. Let me turn the lights off. Okay, hopefully you guys can see this. So I'm going to switch it on. And you can kind of see that the two tail lights are already lit. And the headlights, all that wiring does not light up until you hit, I believe it's the white switch. So that turns on all the white LEDs. It's probably going to be hard to see that there. And one of them is the horn. I believe it's the green one is the horn. If I put the speaker in the cup so you can kind of hear it better. Kind of goofy. And the dark blue one does the sound control, so the car starts up. And it stops. Pretty cool. Hopefully it's gonna sound less tinny. It definitely sounds less tinny putting it inside of a cup. So I'm not sure where it gets mounted just yet. The only thing I don't really like so far that I've noticed is the taillights do not get brighter or whatever, the brake lights. So I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong with that, but when you hit the brake pedal, they don't get any brighter, the lights over here. I don't know if you can see them off the side down the right side of the screen, but I'm hitting the micro switch and it doesn't seem to really do anything. So I'm not sure yet. We'll find that out then. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Let me turn the lights back on. And that's it. We'll turn that off. So that was a little sneak peek there. It's pretty cool. Just not sure exactly how I'm going to hide all this wiring. And I think since the last time you guys had seen this, I did lightly weather the tops of the fuel tanks just so they're not as obnoxiously chrome looking. And it definitely makes them look a lot more realistic. And that's that for that. And let me move on to the next step. All right, here's a close-up of the wiring. And I'm just going off of the pictures that they show in the instruction booklet on what needs to be on the inside and what needs to be on the outside of this apron on the side. The green and white ones hanging down here for the headlights. And I started routing the white and red one here up through to go to the dashboard, but they show it sticking out, so I better just leave it out. I still have not found anything wrong on why the brake pedal was not working. I tried to look on YouTube to see if anyone else had any videos or anything, and I can't find anything about it. So the funny thing is, I even turned off the switch. I thought maybe, I turn it off, maybe it'll work. Maybe they'll come on with, without having to do the main switch, which is back here right now, but nothing. So I have a feeling from the way I read the book in here, it almost sounds like the taillights should not be lit up red when you first turn that switch on, while mine are. So I'm confused on that because obviously, well, maybe that would be right because they're supposed to be just like parking lights, I guess, that they're lit all the time. Maybe once you switch it on. Either way, the brake pedal is not really doing anything. So I might take this back apart in the front up here and just see if maybe one of the solder joints is screwed up or something there, because it's the way that it's smashed in there is kind of like it might have got pinched somehow. Anyway, it's just taking longer than I thought. I mean, if you want to spend a lot of time on something, you definitely get your money out of this kit, I think, because it's definitely been quite interesting. Here's my weathering job a little more up close. I did pull out the screws here, and you can lift up the X brace on each side. So if you want to get in there and weather it like I just did earlier, I think I'd mentioned it on when I had the camera up high. You can kind of see more there. Definitely helps to tone it down. I just used a Tamiya gray wash on it. Just wiped in a parallel direction, I should say. I almost said perpendicular, but not perpendicular. Parallel, going front to back. And I think it definitely gives it more of a tinny, kind of a little bit more of a aluminum look instead of the chrome. Not that it was it wasn't chrome, but it was very, very shiny. So it's getting there, but I'm a little confused about the brake pedal there. I'm not sure what's up with that. I have to figure that out, but I guess it wouldn't really matter because I don't see when you get this done how you're going to stick your finger in there anyway to activate the brake pedal. I mean, it's virtually impossible to put your finger down in there. I mean, I don't know how you're supposed to do that when it's all together. I say call BS on that. But anyway, so got a lot to go here yet. I just got to put, I shouldn't say a lot, but for this set of where I'm at on page 168, I just got to do the other apron. They want me to mount the front wheels on, well, one side. I don't know why, but I guess here they have you do the other side, but I'm not doing that. They're going to go on probably very last. I mean, maybe there's a reason why, but I don't understand why you need to do that right now. It seems awkward because I like having it nice and flat to be able to sit it down on my chip dip container there. But anyway, all right, so I think this is going to be it for part 9. I added the right side mud guard or apron. I think they actually call it a mud guard. Mounted that. I'm not too crazy about the huge screw holes, but I don't think you're really going to see them. If you can see them, maybe I'll fill the bottom one because that one would probably maybe be visible, but not too worried about it. I did stop at my local Hobby Lobby and I picked up 2 different size little tiny spools of aluminum wire. I think one is 18 gauge and the other is 20 gauge. I believe the one I chose is 18 gauge. So I started running the hard brake lines. So I'm going to run them back to the flex lines and try to make my own fittings. We'll see how that goes. I'll probably be in the next part 10 because it's taking me longer than I thought. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up part 9. And if you guys like the content, I appreciate if you give me a thumbs up and leave any comments or questions, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. If you're not a subscriber, please consider it's free, and you can't beat free. And hit the bell for notifications. And until next time, I will see you guys later. You guys have a good night. Talk to you soon. See you in a couple days. Bye-bye.